12 strangest festivals around the world. But first, thanks Mayo T. American Eye thinks Finland is pretty cool too. We're glad to have subscribers from all around the world, so let us know in the comment section if you've been to any of these crazy festivals. Number 12. Punch Your Neighbor Festival. Each culture is unique in many different ways, and they all seem to host their fair share of strange festivals. There's nothing wrong with other people's beliefs, but would you draw the line at beating the living daylights out of your neighbor? Some of you might actually enjoy this, but in the country of Bolivia, people engage in an all-out battle royale with everyone who lives in the small Andes town of Macha. Why would they do this, you might ask? Their culture is still fairly rooted in ancient Inca beliefs, and it's said that the goddess of the earth named Pachamama delivers a fine harvest, but only in return for human blood. This is called the Chinkyu Festival. Villagers drink strong alcohol, and just about every year, someone loses their life. Sounds like one crazy festival. Number 11. The Viking Festival. Possibly one of the most awesome festivals ever. Each year, in the Shetland Islands off the coast of Scotland, they hold the Viking Festival. If you come here, just be expecting a large amount of fire. Burly Scottish men dress up as Vikings to celebrate their Nordic history. They wear traditional Viking armor and are armed with many weapons. Some are paraded down the streets in Viking longboat replicas, and warriors stand next to it with torches. Once the Viking boat has been showed off a little bit, the warriors then throw torches at the longboat, setting it on fire. This creates an enormous bonfire in the middle of the town, and then fireworks are lit off for the finale. Let's just hope the firemen are watching this one carefully. Number 10. Turnip Throwing Festival. Here's one of the few strange festivals in Spain we're about to mention. Spain is certainly home to some crazy festivals, but could this be the craziest one ever? Hundreds of people in a small city called Piernal partake in this event, and guess what they're doing? Throwing turnips, of course, but not at each other. One unlucky character in particular, called the Yaramplas. This guy is given a very colorful, yet horrifying costume and is pelted relentlessly by giant turnips. What did he ever do to you? This beast certainly has some style though. Luckily, the volunteer won't be injured from the flying vegetables, and no one's exactly sure what this is meant to represent. Some believe it's meant to represent a cattle thief, while others believe it's a representation of the devil. Number 9. Hadaka Matsuri. We're just gonna brush up on this one really quickly since it's quite strange. About 10,000 Japanese men gather in a temple in Okayama City, wearing basically nothing but a loincloth. No women allowed. They begin to shove each other and scramble for sacred batons that are thrown by a priest. It's almost like catching a t-shirt at a sporting event, only much more intense, and everyone is basically nude. Whoever catches the baton will apparently have good luck for a year. But was it worth it? Number 8. Monkey Buffet, Thailand. Before you get any horrible ideas, no, this isn't a festival where people eat monkeys. In fact, it's the exact opposite. While in some parts of Thailand, monkeys are considered a nuisance and they can be found stealing people's food, coming inside their houses, or even getting sworn by them like this guy. But can't we just live in a world where monkeys and humans just get along? The monkeys are invited into homes to enjoy a meal. Not only that, but plenty of fruits and vegetables are scattered across the streets as an offering to the deity. Seems like a good all-you-can-eat buffet for the monkeys. Number 7. Torgya Festival. Each year, at an isolated Buddhist monastery in the Himalayas is where they hold this next one, so you'll probably never get a chance to see it in real life, unless you decide to become a Buddhist monk. Located at the Tawang Monastery, dancers put on strange masks, which might seem frightening to young children from the nearby village who are allowed to visit this day. Australian photographers got a very rare glimpse of this and had to travel to northeast India. They believe that these ritualistic Tibetan dances are sure to scare away any evil spirits. The outfits get quite colorful, and the monks who are not a part of the spectacle are wearing their finest clothes. Number 6. Shiva Festivals. Festivals to the Hindu god Shiva in the countries of India and Nepal can get quite out of control. Shiva is the god of death, so be expecting some dark costumes and decorations. This devotee brought a human skull with them, and it's not exactly sure how they acquired it. Other colorful participants might be holding creatures of doom, such as a python we see here. It gets a little bit out of control, and some people smoke the magical ganja plant for spiritual reasons. Another worshiper dresses up as a demon and performs a fake cremation. Number 5. Tomatina. And we're back to Spain again, this time in the city of Bunol for the Tomatina Festival. Each year in August, thousands of people crowd the streets and pelt each other with ripe tomatoes. People are absolutely drenched in red tomato juice. Tourists and Spaniards alike join the festivities and enjoy the enormous mess that takes place. The streets are covered in a thick tomato soup-like concoction after 160 tons of tomatoes get squashed up. There's an estimated 20,000 people who attend each year, and it's one of the most well-known festivals in Spain. It's usually a good idea to get some goggles to protect your eyes. Many tourists underestimate the complete mayhem that takes place at the largest food fight in the world. The aftermath looks like some horrific crime scene, but the acid in the tomatoes actually cleans the streets, so it's said to be beneficial. Number 4. Burning Man Festival. There's a very good chance that if you go to the Burning Man Festival in northern Nevada, you'll never come back the same way before you left. 86,000 extreme partygoers gather at the isolated Nevadan desert near a town called Gerlach. People pick up the strangest possible outfit they can find and find a way to have a good time. This insane festival started off as a ritualistic bonfire with live music in the late 60s and 70s, where they lit a 9-foot tall wooden man on fire. Nowadays, the Burning Man that's set on fire is much larger. Many have been really concerned about the safety of this event after a couple in a tent were ran over. Tickets for the 2017 Burning Man Festival will cost you $425 with an $80 parking pass. But you won't find another unique gathering focused on self-expression such as this. Number 3. Straw Bear Festival. So in our craziest subway photos video, we came across a very strange character taking the train, but we had no idea what it was. We finally found out what it was, and it appears to be a person from the Straw Bear Festival in full costume. The UK might be home to some strange rituals, but this straw bear thing really takes the cake. It almost looks like Burning Man before it gets set on fire. In order to celebrate a new year of agriculture to ensure a bountiful harvest, men in the town of Whittlesey dress up in straw costumes and dance throughout the town. This used to be an ancient tradition, but it started up again in the 1980s. This man in the suit also says it's tradition to buy him a beer afterwards. Number 2. Nottingham Carnival. A little bit of rain in the English town of Notting Hill certainly isn't enough to stop this massive parade. And it might not be exactly something you'd expect to see in the UK. Sometimes over 1 million people are in attendance to see what's going on. The parade features many bodacious women in fairly revealing costumes despite the rain ponchos. The headdress can be quite elaborate like we see here. Police are normally in a good mood, but it doesn't keep them from doing their jobs. The costumes are sure to turn some heads, and you can expect the streets to be completely jam-packed with drunken spectators. And number 1. Log Riding Festival. You might have been on a log ride before at Disneyland, but it probably wasn't as extreme as this. This is known as the Kayatashi ceremony and involves about 5 or more grown men chopping down a large tree and cruising down a hill. These are considered to be sacred pillars, and the men of Japan show off their bravery by going down steep hillsides in these logs. Every year someone will certainly get hurt, normally since the trees are so huge and the terrain can be unpredictable. This is supposed to be an ancient Shinto tradition, and doing this is supposed to bring good luck. This crazy festival only takes place once every 6 years, so it's quite the sight to see.